If you want to go somewhere, in the old days, we would get out a map. Now, some of you don't even know what a map is, but you would get out your phone, right? And you would enter in the address, and it's going to give you directions right there on your phone. You have a step-by-step process to get where you're going. And if you get off track, it talks to you and says you're off track, right? Well, that's what your budget does. Your budget is you telling your money what to do instead of wondering where it went. Well, I don't want to do a budget. It's restricting. Not unless you make it restricting. It's your budget. All a budget is you're doing it on paper, on purpose, before the month begins. Every dollar has an assignment. Every dollar has a mission. Every dollar has a name before the month begins. In a unique budget each and every month, because every month's a little different. That's called a zero-based budget. You make a list of your income, you total it up before the month begins, you make a list of your expenses, and you spend those expenses on paper. And then once that's on paper, you stick to it, which means since you've spent every dollar, that if you're going to raise one category by $150, you've got to lower other categories by $150. You're not in Congress. You can't spend more than you had coming in. You know, it's income minus outgo equals zero, not income minus outgo equals a deficit. We don't do deficit spending in our households. That's called debt. And you're going to do what? Run your budget on a credit card? Now, this is just plain stupid. We're not even going to talk about that. Now, a couple things you need to know about your budget. People always spend more on food than they think they do. So whatever you think you're going to put in there for the food category, put some more in there because you're wrong. You're going to spend more than you think you're spending. You've been spending way more than that number you have in your head that you think you're spending. And it's okay to separate restaurants and grocery store, which is not a bad idea, because restaurants ought to be like zero while you're getting out of debt. The second thing about a budget is you must sit down together and do the budget. If you're married, you have to do this together. Well, I can't get my spouse. Well, you have a marriage problem. You don't have a budget problem. And I will tell you, it's almost impossible to drag dead weight through a get-out-of-debt plan and drag them into a budget. You're just not dealing with adults. You have to be a grown man. You have to be a grown woman. You have to make adult-like decisions here. You have to step into this and do it. So if you take out the dollars that you have coming in this month, your take-home pay, and you put it at the top of the page, and you and your spouse sit and look at that, and you say, all right, let's spend that on paper before the month begins. We buy food, we buy lights and water, we pay the rent or the mortgage, we pay the car payment if there is one, we pay the insurance, we put clothes on the kids, whatever it is, we have to buy this month. You go right down the list, and every dollar has an assignment. And then you squeeze dollars out of that budget and you start working those baby steps. Save $1,000, baby step 1. 2 is you start working your way out of debt and so on down the line, right? And here's the hard part. The first month you do your budget, you suck at doing a budget. First month I did a budget, I sucked at doing a budget. I was way off. And so you're going to have to sit down and have emergency budget committee meetings with your spouse and adjust the budget because you under-budgeted some categories. The second month, you'll get a little better at it. You'll only have about 5 or 6 emergency budget committee meetings. By the third month of doing this, it'll start to work. And you're in charge. The budget police aren't going to come in and look over your shoulder. You're in charge. But what it forces you to do is be a grown-up instead of an impulse brat. It forces you to tell your money what to do instead of wondering where it went.